I was born in Arkansas, raised in Arkansas in Yell County near a little town called Havana. Grew up in I guess an unusual childhood in that we didn't have a lot of money. Well, I was one of 5 brothers, the first of the brothers to attempt to go to college, and in doing so I had to support myself totally. Went to Arkansas Tech for a couple of years because it was the nearest place. And then to get an engineering degree, obviously, I had to transfer to the University of Arkansas. I attended the advanced ROTC program here at the University of Arkansas, and I took the flight training that was offered here in the advanced ROTC program. And as soon as I got out of graduate school, I did go into the Army and served 3 years as a pilot in the Army. And it was a very valuable experience as well. When I finished the military commitment and began to seek employment, it was a very opportune time for engineers. And I felt that at least I had an obligation to talk to Arkansas Power and Light Company as well. Plus it offered me the opportunity to remain in Arkansas, being an Arkansas boy. Worked in a number of different positions, worked my way up to the Chief Operating Officer position, at which time the parent company, which is Entergy, asked if I would come to New Orleans and work for the parent company as their Senior Vice President of Operations, which I agreed to do. So I moved to New Orleans in 1986. Retired from Entergy at age 55, and at that time I had been doing a considerable amount of work promoting the use of broadband communications, the internet and other forms of broadband communications. And because I'd gotten quite a bit of notoriety relative to those activities, there was a company in Atlanta called Scientific Atlanta who approached me after retirement and said, would you come to work for us as the president of our Control Systems division? So I agreed to do that and did move to Atlanta and work on some very, I'd say, interesting devices that did great things, were probably a little bit ahead of the market. During the time I was working for Scientific Atlanta in Atlanta, the electric co-ops, electric cooperatives of Georgia had asked if I would sit on their board of directors, which I agreed to do so. And so I worked as the president and CEO of Oglethorpe Power Corporation. Also served as the president and CEO of Georgia Transmission Corporation and of Georgia System Operations Company, which were all a creation of the electric cooperatives in the state of Georgia. And I have great love for the University of Arkansas, but I also have great love for the students who are attending the University of Arkansas. I've tried to stay active with the university in a lot of areas, alumni type activities, ever since I got out of the military, really, and have been a part of lots of organizations, the Chancellor Society, the Towers of Old Main, the Dean's Advisory Council I've served on for a lot of years, a lot more years than I want to admit to. One specific thing is when the Bell Engineering Center was built, a group of us were asked if we could raise the funds necessary to equip the building. We were asked to raise, I think it was $10 million. May not sound like too much in today's fundraising environment, but at that time it was an unheard of amount. And we were able to not only meet our goal, but to exceed it. I really think that was one of, if not the origin of the major fundraising efforts at the University of Arkansas. And for those engineering professors and others who might be in the audience, I would just simply say you have an influence well beyond what you see and may ever see, but you are appreciated. I really, the way I had grown up, I wanted to make a good living and be able to live comfortably. But beyond that, my main purpose would be that anywhere I went, I wanted to leave it better than it was when I arrived. That still remains the one constant, I guess, that I would try to apply to anything that I do. That is, when I leave, it is better than it was when I came.